Friday and looking forward to having a nice, relaxing Saturday. And hopefully, nothing big happens, with this crazy world that we live in now. I don't know. The worst thing would be that you're called a racist. I mean, everybody's called a racist these days. I mean, it's just crazy. Anyway, I hope everybody can stay out of trouble. I was going to just kind of let this, people talk and chat or whatever you want to do. I don't know. I mean, I know that there's a lot of people that are busy and it's a Friday. I don't know how long this is going to go. It might not go very long at all. But there was one thing that I did want to bring up, and this was interesting. This was, you know how we've been going through the plagues and things like that in Exodus? I wanted to kind of make a comparison as to what's in Revelation and what's in Exodus. Hey Judith, how are you? So I'm just going to go really quickly over the plagues. Okay, the first one was blood, and that was in the water. Then you had the frogs, the lice, or the weird gnats type things, and then you had the flies, and then the bees died, that plague with the animals, and then the boils, and then the hail, and then the locust, and then the darkness. So here are the trumps and the vials. And the first one is hail, fire, and blood. That's on the trumps, and on the vials you have swords. So that makes sense. If it hits the sun, I would think that's going to be a physical thing. I hear people all the time say, "Oh, it's just all spiritual." No, I think I think it's literally going to happen. The second is I can't read my own writing. Oh, the burning mountain, like wormwood. And then that's the trump. And the second vial is the blood in the sea. So it's like the sea creatures and things like that they all die, or a third of it. Oh, wait a minute. No. The second one is the burning mountain. The third one is wormwood. So something in the second one going with the vial, the blood, and affecting the sea, and the burning mountain being thrown down. With all the asteroids and things like that going on, and all these near misses, and I actually saw that. I mean, Christ and I, he took me up above and was showing me the earth. And on this point, he just picked this up and threw it down. It hit into the sea, but it was close to, like, it was in the sea, but it was also close to the land. But it was definitely in the sea. But is that going... See, that's the thing that I just don't know if it's symbolic or whatever, but for now, okay, the third trump is wormwood. That's where that star, the wormwood star, and it makes everything better. And on the vials, it's like the blood in the rivers. That's going to be really weird. And all this stuff happens before the Antichrist says that he is, like he says he's Christ. Okay, so number 4 is darkness. 2, 3, 4. So the trump is darkness, and then the vial is fire and scorching men. So darkness and scorching men. Number 5 on the trump is the locust, and that's, to me, is like when the sow begins, when the abyss is open. But on the vials, that's darkness. That's, it's on Satan's seat. His kingdom is full of darkness. So that makes sense to me that those would be together. And then on the 6th one, this is a 6th trump. The 4 angels are loosed in the Euphrates. And then on the 6th vial, this is also in the Euphrates, but the 3 unclean spirits that look like frogs come out. And this is like the Trinity of Satan. It's that bewitching. So it's going to be interesting as we go on, like with the plagues. I mean, these were literal things that happened in Egypt. So why wouldn't it be literal happening coming up? And, I mean, it's going to get crazy. I just thought I'd bring that up because I thought that was really interesting. Hey, Mind, good to see you. So I don't know. What do you guys want to talk about? I don't know. We're kind of getting weather over here. Is just, I don't know. I can't wait till it actually starts getting nice out here because it is just constantly dreadful. Like rain. Just, ugh. It just gets so bad. Hey, Kelly. Oh, thank you. Oh, she likes my glasses. Yeah, so whatever you guys want to talk about, we can talk about. You want to talk about the jab? You want to talk about anything new happening? I just thought because, we've been just going really heavy duty into the studying, and it just, this kind of sets up to be able to have a nice weekend. You're not like looking at something and these are the end times, drilling it in, because I'm telling you, I think that goes a lot with the oppression that we're feeling. And I mean, like with me, I feel like there's so much happening, but there's also other things that are going to be happening. So it's like I get like really caught up in it. Like, what's the next thing? What do I have to tell people that's coming? And being able to like see more clearly in it. And that can really drag you down. Like, seeing all these visions and the similitudes that I was shown, and just constantly, yeah, it does. It drags you down. I think it's part of the oppression. Although, everything ends well. It's not like it's gonna be like this forever, so. And see if anybody says anything. Yeah, I don't know. So what do you guys think about the Trumps and Biles? Let's see, HR5, universal gender neutral areas, I think it passed. Is that like for the army or for the military or whatever that they're allowed back in, or is it something else? mean, there's so many things that are happening, and I mean, it's kind of really. I know that the new administration is going in and completely reversing everything that was put into place. And the CC, the communist, China communist military, whatever, the CCMC, Trump had put into place where, not to fund those companies that, supported, that helped their military, and now it's all being turned around. So it's like we're supporting China. What happened to America, really? What happened to us? Why are we all just, it feels like it's kind of like everybody's scared to talk, and I know things are going to change, though. I mean, there gets to a point where a bully will sit there and push you and push you and push you until you're like, you either stay on the ground or you get up and you start swinging. And I think that's really, I mean, the American people are so pushed around, called names, ridiculed, said we're so bad. I mean, these are like top line, malignant narcissists as our leaders telling us who we are. I think for us, we need to identify as our own. When somebody's telling you that you're this and this, you need to have a strong notion as to who you are, what your beliefs are. Keep your standards, keep your morals, values, and ethics. Keep your identity, because I think really that's what they're trying to strip. They're trying to take everything that is good in America and replace it with bad and the ugly and the criminal aspect. I don't know. The more, I mean, I hate watching the news. I can't stand it. But, it is kind of important to have an idea as to what's going on. So it's not like you can completely neglect that part. So, but you gotta stay strong. That's the one thing. Let's see. Kelly says, feels like my kids will never be back in school. I thought Los Angeles kind of opened up. And who is that governor or whatever? Are they trying to I know they're trying to recall him or something. So I hope that does happen. I know over here they were trying to recall Governor Brown, and it's so dumb. I mean, if you work together, you could get the same amount, but onto one petition. But they broke it up, and I think, people come in there and infiltrate these groups and make them kind of dumb and not work together, you know what I mean? But that's what it's gonna take. Like, if you want something done, you have to unite. Let's see, this bathroom thing is so strange. Oh, so that's what it is. No longer women's bathrooms. Oh my gosh. I wonder how many, well, you know how the federal government, they make these laws, but it's actually up to each state as to whether they're going to uphold that or not. I bet you all the liberal states will be like that, but, like conservative places, I don't think they'll they'll do that. And I think this is where our country is going, is to each state governing themselves. And um, you know, you're having those judges, those people that are looking out for the state rather than having this, you know, the federal government coming over and just dictating what you can and can't do. It all comes down to federal money. You know, this is how they coerce people into doing things. You know, we have a lot of greedy people, greedy leaders. Let's see. Joe Biden bombarded people for no reason. People for no reason. Yep. I mean, everything is just falling apart. You can see it. It's like something has got to be done. Our nation is the weakest that it has ever been. I mean, we're so completely divided. It would be really easy for another nation to come in and take it over. So we gotta, you know, I think that's why things are gonna happen this year as far as that goes, and taking out those trying to destroy the country. And, you know, who knows if Trump's gonna get back in or not, but at least getting back to, you know, what America is. It's not China. And, you know, you have like at least 50% of the people, you know, wanting to have the moral standards, the ethics, you know. So at least go halfway or whatever into letting people just live, you know. Okay, so if you want to, you know, if you're a female, you want to use a male's restroom or whatever, it's like, do that in the cities or whatever where these people all join together, you know what I mean? And just let people be people. And that's really, I mean, you're going to see that divide. That's the big thing, is the divide of the culture. You'll get the strong left and you'll get the right. But how can you live together if you can't even talk? You know what I mean? And that's the way they want it. And that's the way it's going to be. Biden bombing Iran. Yeah. Iran and Iraq. These in Daniel chapter 11, the north and the south on the other side of the Euphrates. So it's interesting that he would want to go in and start messing around with Iran. But that's the war machine. That's just... Remember when everybody was saying, oh, Trump's going to get us in all these wars? He took us out of the wars. Now, look, I mean, hypocrites. Hypocrites. Let's see. Let's see, heads up for women, carry or bear spray, or whatever you choose to protect you with. Yep. It is. It's getting weird out there. You know, it's hostile out there. Let's see, will the USA power grid be down permanently at some point or just temporary? Wouldn't the government lose ability to control us with no electricity or electric power? Well, it's going to be spotty. So depending on where you're at, I mean, what we just saw was a good example. Like Texas was down, Oregon was down. It's the different types of grids that they're using. And, I mean, there's coming a civil war. So, a lot of this stuff is, where is the war going to be located at? Is there going to be people who are still working and to keep the power up? I mean, I'll tell you this, America is not going to look like America. Everything is changing and nothing will ever be the same again. So as far as the power, you'll have some and then you'll lose it. I mean, it'll come on and then it'll go off. And the internet, that's why I'm saying, as far as buying gadgets and things like that, you're not going to be able to use them that much. I mean, it would be much better if you just bought food, the basic stuff, because I just saw, like, there's not a lot of power, and when you do, it's not a lot of time between, it's just either you have it, and also the internet with that. I mean, a lot of the devices that we have today is both the internet, the phone service, and things like that. I don't know. I mean, just be ready to not have power. Be ready to know that you're not going to be able to move freely around. Before the Pacific Northwest earthquake and all that, things will be, somewhat normal, but you're going to have this war type thing and politics and things like that. But then after the Pacific Northwest earthquake, you're going to have the dollar collapse, and you're going to have the riots and having just people losing their, because they've lost their homes, they've lost everything because banks calling back loans. They have nothing. So they have nothing to lose. I mean, they're ready for war. So when you see that, after that, you're not going to be able to travel freely and stuff like that. And even if you were, just think about, as far as war and trucks being able to ship supplies and, truckers being willing to drive through states, and it's just not going to be the same. So I saw more of a community-based type, people losing their stuff, and, they just traveling to places where they can be with family or friends. But, I did see hunger. I saw people really, really struggling. And I don't think people are going to be ready for this at all. I mean, just absolutely not ready. Especially the people in the city. I would not be in the city at all. Get out while you can. That's the big thing. See, Dabu 7 video, they are using drones to pick apples, trying to make it reality. Wow. Well, all this high-tech stuff, unless they are able to use the internet and high-tech, but we aren't. I could see that happening. But this, getting supplies and being able to buy food and things like that's going to be a real problem. So just get ready for that. I mean, I'm definitely gonna buy more food. I'm just whatever I need to do, to get ready. Because, you think you have enough, but then you don't. And there's going to be plenty of people that are going to not prepare. Or I think it's Iran supply freedom fighters. Yeah, they're probably sick of it, and they're probably, I don't know if it has anything to do with Israel being in it. I kind of saw Biden and Netanyahu or whatever standing next to each other, so I wouldn't be, you know, surprised if it was just them together doing their harassment on different countries. Hey Daniel, let's see if you get a stimulus, buy a generator and do a oil change on it. Have a neighbor help, in my honest opinion. Yep, you'll want that. I bet a lot of people are going to do that though too. I mean, I am definitely going to do that. I mean, when you don't have electricity, it's very uncomfortable, but you do need things such as to cook and things like that. I mean, I have like propane stove and things like that for camping, but still, you have to buy that. How long will that last? And these generators, you need gas. Sorry. Candace is trying to call me. Anyway, guys, so yeah, just think about just go like for one day and not have any electricity at all, and just think, what do I need? I need to get candles too. Let's see, couple gas cans and cars hold 15, 20 gallons, and they have cheap pumps to pull the gas out if needed. Yeah, and Soldier here. Hey, Soldier. See, I heard the ports are slow goings in imports. Well, things definitely aren't back to normal. I mean, they'll never get back to normal as they once were. And I think, the biggest part where people are going to be, like, disappointed the most is the fact that they have that hope that we're going to somehow miraculously get our government back and that we're all going to be okay and stuff, but I think that's what stops them from doing anything, thinking that, things will work out for itself, but we're at the end, really, at the end. And governments themselves, they don't last very long. So you got to do a huge revamp. This, you see all this, chaos and things like that just all over the world. And it's all just being primed for this one world global order. And there's no way that you can escape it. Just the eye in the sky. I mean, it doesn't matter if you go and get a bunker or whatever, they'll know you're there. You will have to either join them or not. they'll know either way whether you're in, in this global community or you're not. And you'll only be able to last so long. Whereas they'll be like, well, if you don't join us, we're going to place you in front of the governor or whoever. So, but not as bad as, like the martyrs and stuff like that and the Old Testament. Even, the New Testament and the, apostles and stuff being stoned to death, hung. I mean, just at least we'll be okay, at least we're not gonna have to go through that. Let's see. Mine says I have 20 pounds, rice, beans, flour per person here. Coffee, you should too. Oh, that's a good one. I need to get coffee. And Daniel said I had a dream and it probably means nothing, but it was like everything was dark and the whole country was dark except for areas near mountains and like people clamoring to mountain regions for some reason, and they were living in big primitive communities. I can definitely see that happening. People, the smart ones are going to leave, getting out of the cities, They may not have, an idea of where they're going, but you can only get so far. And if you don't have family or whatever, I mean, I think that's what people would do. They would just, to get out of the violence and the things like that that are going to happen in cities, people just flee and just, set up areas around that area outside. And I think, like the suburbs too and things like that, it would just depend on if you're in a good suburb area, but people are going to be turning on each other and stuff. I mean, these little tight-knit communities is what I saw, is where you'll be able to survive in that. But you get these, in the suburbs, you get street after street after street, and you have someone on a different neighborhood but connected to that street, but a different street name. I mean, they already hate each other. Oh, you're over there. How could you possibly think that you would survive in this type of situation coming? You wouldn't. I mean, people would be killing each other. I mean, if they act badly now, think about when there is no law, there is no rule, where you've got these bullies running around. Either you get out of there. I mean, that's why I need to get out. It's not going to be a safe place. And, as far as I'm concerned, they can eat their own. That's good. Just have at it. Let's see. I like the Westinghouse generator. I don't see the prices coming down anytime. Yeah, that's a thing. Get it now because the prices are, even on food and things like that. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Sorry. The cat, for some reason, just likes to go over and tease him. So, yeah. I guess the best thing to do, though, now is just to get mentally prepared, to get spiritually prepared. And if you can, physically prepared. Because the more physically physical as far as fit, the better you'll be able to handle things. So yeah, it's so crazy how things are lining up. I mean, I've been waiting for all this stuff for since I was 6, and now seeing it all just boom, 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 boom. It just like, oh man, it feels so surreal. So, but the good thing is it goes by fairly fast. So, you know, especially towards the end, once Satan is here, it goes by really super fast. So, and you don't have anything to really worry about. I mean, you'll be protected and everything else. So, it's just the other people. It's just those who, Satan worshipers. Let's see, wrestling. Oh, Westing 2500, at least 25 will run. AC, oh, 500, that's not bad. Yeah. With all the job loss and things like that, I don't know how fast it's going to, have people, with the pipeline and things like that. Like, a lot of people lost their jobs. And you'll see, people selling their things and, depending on your area. So, over, I don't know which states, like, I think it's through Minnesota and things like that. Hey, baby. We're gonna see a lot of destruction, and it's so annoying, to like think this is what our future is. I would like it to be, full of cherries. We have nothing. Oh, just like any other thing, the year and just, but it's not. That's the thing. And I think people in general are trying to be happy and things like that, but with the job loss, and we've got like the rent thing, or the rent and mortgage thing, where, that, somebody's got to pay someday, you know what I mean? Was it that started like last year, like around May or June? So we're coming around to almost a year. No, it's gonna get crazy. Hey, kitty. She's gonna attack me. She's in one of those moods. What are you doing? Let's see, is silver going to be useless for barter, do you think? Yeah. No, I mean, you can use that definitely. And if you have jewelry or whatever, people are going to be thinking, hey, life is going to come back to normal. So if you need to trade with somebody, yeah, of course, they're going to, yeah, most definitely. I see, though, like in the stores and things like that, it's more for bartering. Like with the people, in this society right now, it's like mainly digital. I mean, it's not very often that you see cash anymore. So I have a little bit of silver. So silver and some jewelry, and, just be ready for anything. Backpack. I have a backpack. I have hiking boots. This is, whatever I need. Hey, baby. What are you doing? What are you doing? Nah. Well, you can get up top. You can get on top. Alright, jumped up. Yeah, it is just a Friday. Just a Friday. Ow! No, you do not want to bite me. Ow! No! Ah! Attack of the cat. What are you doing? Okay, if silver hits at like 100 an ounce, I'm selling and find a new generator of supplies. Yeah, definitely. And if you have Bitcoin, I would be selling that too. Get, assets, things that you hold, you know what I mean? Because there's electricity and internet and everything like that. If you can't get on the internet, how are you going to use it, you know? So, let's see. What were you saying? We have like 2 weeks to get where we were going. Say that again. Okay, when you see the Pacific Northwest earthquake hit, you have 2 weeks after that to get your supplies, get everything that you need, and where you're going. Because after that, that's when the dollar is collapsed. You're not going to really be able to use your money. It's going to be very hard to travel, and you're going to have a lot of riots and things like that going on. So after that, I mean, that's where it goes right into the war. So, yeah, right in that time, it's like 2 weeks. So when you see that, just know, there is no getting it back. Let's see, the world don't need to end what we are zombies to die. There has to be a way. I don't know, this keeps getting cut off, so I can't see all of your after the Cascadia West Coast slip. Yeah, when you see that, that's like, bye, you gotta be ready. Just get everything. And there's going to be a lot of people who will be trying to get their supplies and things like that. So, yeah. And even before then, you're going to see, all of the, get out of there, go, get. You're going to see, the storms and stuff like that, the natural disasters, the flooding and just things like that. So that'll be a clue. But the weird thing is they have just been increasing. And so it looks a lot like, it's going to happen, but then it's like, so these storms are going to get much bigger. And so you're going to get a lot of people moving just because of that, because, well, take example like Katrina, how many people were relocated because of that, and those types of storms coming in and also moving through the Midwest. Oh. Let's see. Unrest building, yep. I have nowhere to go. I'm going to have to stay here. I don't like any city. I don't like in a city more like a big town, maybe 70,000 people. I'm going to have to stay here. Yeah. if that's what you have to do, then, just hunker down, get your place ready. Don't tell people, that you're preparing or anything like that. And just get ready. And if God wants to take you someplace else, He's going to give you an unction, like you need to go here. And there'll be a way of doing it. So, yeah, I mean, if that's what you're doing, get ready. I mean, if you can stay where you're at, that's pretty awesome. And if you have good neighbors and stuff like that, it wouldn't be too bad at all. Lay down. Lay down. So, yeah. Anyway, guys. Yeah, pray on it. He'll get you set up, though. I mean, you'll be totally prepared. Just, we might have this year going into next year, and then we have the earthquake next year, and, could just keep going on like this for a while, which would mean that you would have more time to be able to stock up or whatever. And I wish I knew. I wish I knew that, okay, this happens this year, on this month, on this, I mean, it would make things a lot easier. But at least there's signs and there's things that, you can look for. It always sounds so weird to me. I got these in my ears, trying to talk. I mean, it's like I can hear myself talk. Okay, guys, I'm gonna get going. I hope that you guys have a great weekend. I don't know when the stimulus checks are coming out. I think they've got the amounts, though, basically $1,400. So that's good for me. I mean, I know it's not good for the country, but we're all going down anyway. Might as well I think it's like God saying, okay, I'm giving you all this, so use it wisely. Yep. Okay, guys, you take care. I'll see you on Monday. And just enjoy your weekend. Try to zen. Because, nothing has really hit yet. And if we can't handle, like, this stuff now, how can we handle really what's coming? Yes, support the local food bank if you can. Get stuff. If you've got, also, like, food stored away, and it's about to expire or whatever, take it down there and replace it with, newer stuff. Anyway, guys, I will talk to you on Monday then at 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And I am just going to veg out this weekend. No news, nothing like that. Okay, guys, take care, love ya.